Juan, are you there? Do you have a minute to talk to me about something really quick? I just heard that you were fighting with one of our neighbors. Do you have anything to say about that?
Someone told you that I was fighting with a neighbor? Where'd you hear that from? Who told you that?
It was actually Julia from up the street who told me. She's the lady with those 2 little Shiba dogs, you know the ones. She told me that you and her husband were fighting about something outside her house earlier this weekend.
Oh, right, you're talking about her husband, Frank. Yeah, we had a little chat earlier today, but it wasn't anything more serious than that.
Oh, really? Because Julia seemed to be pretty upset over the whole matter. She called to apologize because she was sure that her husband must have done something to make you act that way. But knowing you, I worry that you might have been out there looking for trouble. So, I just wanted to know what this fight was about and if you started it.
Okay, well, it's not like I hit him or anything. I just gave him a little kick is all.
Wait a second. You kicked Frank. Juan, how could you do that? That's awful!
I didn't do it on purpose, or at least I didn't mean to do it that hard is all.
That doesn't make it any better at all, Juan! Why are you always so quick to get into fights with people? You really need to learn how to have more patience and just let things go.
But I wasn't the one who started it, okay? I was taking a walk, alright? And Frank was watering his plants, and then he splashed water on me.
You kicked a neighbor because he got you a little wet while he was out watering his plants? Are you kidding me?
I didn't kick him that hard, I already told you. I was just aiming to kick him back away from me so he would back up.
Did you really think that he was purposefully trying to spray you with water while he was out there watering his plants? And why do you think that you needed to elevate that situation to violence if that really was all that happened? You need to go to their house and apologize. Do you understand me?
But why should I have to do that, okay? I just got these clothes and he got them wet. These aren't just any clothes either. I picked them up from a really expensive store, so they're fragile. You have no idea how upset I got when he got water on them. You weren't there.
No, I know just how upset you got because I've seen you act this way before. Now, Julia and I are friends, and we don't want this bad blood between our families. So if you're really going to refuse to apologize, then can you at least just avoid interacting with Frank at all from now on?
Well, I wish that I could have just ignored him, but it's clear that he has it out for me. He's always acting like he's better than me just because he makes a bit more money and his dogs are so noisy every single day. I just don't know how I'm supposed to avoid him when he's always rubbing his life in my face.
I don't think his dogs are annoying at all. They're very well behaved, and Julia and Frank are both wonderful people. I've talked with Frank several times, and he seems like a very laid-back person who would never try and start a fight with someone.
Oh, okay, so I guess you're just gonna take their side over mine and say that I'm wrong, huh? Why do you never believe me when it comes to this stuff?
How can I believe you when it comes to this kind of stuff, Juan? I've seen how you act, and 9 times out of 10, you're the one that starts trouble. I've already gone and apologized to Julia, but I would really appreciate it if you went over there and said you were sorry.
That's no fair, though. I shouldn't have to apologize for anything because I didn't do anything wrong. Frank started it, not me, okay? So why should I have to say that I'm sorry?
Because you kicked him, Juan! Even if he did start it, you took it up to another level, and you should own up to that. You do realize that we're lucky to not be getting sued by the 2 of them, right? And if you want to make sure that that doesn't happen, then you would do well to go and say that you're sorry.
No, I'm not going to do that, Teresa.
Why are you being such a child about this? It really shouldn't be this difficult. But if you really want to act this way, then if you don't apologize, I'll throw away all your video games. What do you think about that?
Whoa, what? Is that some kind of joke or something? You can't just do that, that's taking things way too far.
Is it? I'm pretty sure that I've been the one that's bought every single one of those games for you, Juan. So since I bought them, I don't see why I can't do whatever I like with them. Besides, maybe throwing them all away would finally convince you to get off your butt and go look for a job.
Hey now, this isn't fair. My video games and my employment status have nothing to do with each other. Besides, I do have a job. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about a full-time job, Juan. The kind that you used to have. Now you just work part-time and spend the rest of the day glued to the TV playing your games. When are you going to grow up and work like an adult?
Alright, geez. If you're really gonna be like this, then I guess that I can go and apologize. I'll make sure and get that done soon, okay?
Please do. I really don't want you to wait too long to do this. I really do like Julia, and I don't want this to spoil things between us. You know that there aren't many neighbors left who get along with us, don't you?
What are you talking about? There's plenty of people who live around us. You can always just make friends with one of them.
Do you really think that? I hope you don't, because that tells me just how delusional you really are. You need to realize all the trouble that you've been causing, not just for me, but everyone around us. Got it?
Right, I understand.
Juan, what in the world is the matter with you? When are you going to finally learn your lesson and settle down?
What are you talking about? I didn't even do anything. You can't just start a conversation with me like that.
I mean, you went out and get in another fight with someone else! Again! I hope you know that I just can't let you off the hook for this one, Juan.
But it wasn't my fault. They started it, I swear. If they didn't want to get hurt, then they shouldn't have been messing around with me in the first place.
Is that really all that you're able to say for yourself at times like these? Because whenever this kind of stuff happens, it's always you who's starting it.
But it really wasn't my fault at all, I swear. And if he didn't want to get hurt, then he's the one who should have known better.
Why do you keep calling this person he when it was your friend Charles?
I'm not saying that jerk's name anymore because him and I are not friends.
But why did you get into a fight with him in the first place? I want to know what happened between you two. Right now.
So him and I were out the other night to get drinks, and then he just started talking bad about me all of a sudden, like totally out of nowhere. So then I got mad and I tried to grab his collar to tell him to shut his mouth.
Grabbing his collar still doesn't explain how he got hurt the way that he did.
Well, I was trying to grab his collar, but I wasn't looking where my hands were going, and I ended up shoving him off the bar stool. So, do you get it now? None of this is my fault in the slightest. Any way you look at it, he was the one who started running his mouth about things that he shouldn't have, and then I was just acting the way that any self-respecting man would.
And just what was Charles saying to you that got you so upset?
He was making fun of me because my mom raised me. Can you believe that someone would say something like that to someone else? I knew right then and there that if I didn't put him in his place, then I would never be able to respect myself.
But it was your mom who raised you, Juan.
Yeah, but he was making fun of me for it. There was no way I could just sit back and be quiet after being told something like that. He said it made me a loser. That's why I did what I did.
But do you know that he broke his ankle because you shoved him out of his seat, right? Even if you didn't mean to do it, you are still the cause of the injury, and that's just a fact. He would be well within his right to go to the police, report what happened, and have you arrested. You realize that, right?
And just why would the police even bother doing that after they hear the full story of what happened? They would clearly see that it was a matter of self-defense, okay? I was only defending my honor against a rude jerk like him.
I really don't think they would see it that way. No matter what was said, you were the one that resorted to violence. Any excuse you gave after that would just come off as you justifying what you did to him. You're still at fault for making the first move.
So you're saying that you want me to be arrested then, huh? You think that you'd be better off if I was in jail? I can't believe that I'm having this kind of talk with my own wife. Why does nobody ever take my side? You're all really just jerks who are up against me.
No, Juan, I don't want you to go to jail. In fact, the only reason that I know that you're not going to end up there is because I talked to Charles and convinced him to not press any charges. But in exchange for that, we have to pay the hospital bills for his broken ankle. So, you're welcome for that.
So, how much did the hospital end up costing him then?
It was a few $100s, actually. But why do I feel like I'm always paying your way out of trouble? You have no idea how exhausting it is dealing with you sometimes.
Right, but if everything is settled, then I don't really see a point in talking about this any longer. It sounds to me like all's well that ends well.
We are not through talking about this, Juan. You need to go and apologize to Charles. Do you understand me?
I'm not gonna say a word to that jerk ever again.
Why not, Juan? Why are you making this so difficult? You could save yourself so much trouble if you just learned to say that you were sorry. There is a lot of weight behind a well-worded apology. I can promise you that.
I didn't do anything wrong, so I don't see any reason why I have to be apologizing for anything.
Oh, just give me a break already! You are always the first one to elevate some spat into a physical confrontation. You need to start taking responsibility for your own actions because I am tired of covering for you all the time. This is going to be the last time that I bail you out.
And just what is that supposed to mean?
It means that I'm moving out. I can't deal with you right now, Juan.
Wait, Theresa, you can't leave me.
Yes, I can. Do not fight me on this. I just don't want to be around you for a while.
But you'll come back, won't you? I mean, you're not gonna be away for very long, right?
Actually, right now I'm thinking very hard about whether or not I want a divorce. So just please, don't push this anymore, and give me some space to think.
Theresa, you can't be serious about that. How could you do something so cruel?
You might think it's cruel, but it's the only thing I can think to do for myself right now. Unlike you, I'm not going to lash out. But I am asking for enough space so that I can think about things.
Please, wait, you can't leave me! I need you, Theresa, don't do this to me!
Well, I don't want to be babying you all the time anymore. And if we do get a divorce, know that you would have to move out and find a new place to live, okay? Because I'm the one that pays the rent and the bills. I've paid for basically everything in our house.
So you would take everything if we got a divorce? The car, my games, even my computer?
That's right. I have a more than fair claim to all of it, so you better think twice about how you act from now on. Got it? I've given you way too many chances, and you've wasted them all.
But I never even knew that you would get upset enough to leave me. Please, you have to rethink this. Don't do this to me. You're not thinking straight right now, okay? You're just upset. You're just overreacting when you gotta be thinking this out more.
I already told you that I'm only asking for time to be able to think this out. And I'm not going to be lectured about acting without thinking from you, Juan. I have talked about this problem of yours with you over and over again, and you just refuse to listen to me. I told you to stop starting fights. Be more patient. Think more clearly. And you do none of it.
But that isn't fair! How can you say this is all my fault? You always put the blame on me and never on anyone else.
That's because you never look to blame yourself and always put the blame on others first. You need to grow up and realize that it's possible for multiple people to be at fault.
It's not true, okay? The world is black and white. People who say otherwise are just trying to make excuses for themselves.
Is that meant to be ironic? Because all you ever do is make up excuses for why you're right and the other person is wrong.
You can't do this to me! I was just defending my honor. Surely I have a right to do that. Why are you acting like I'm the crazy one or like an idiot for doing that?
Because if your first thought of how to defend your honor is through violence, then you really are an idiot. You need to think your actions through more and not just let your fist do the thinking for you. My entire marriage to you, I felt like more the mother of an unruly child than I have anyone's wife.
You can't do this to me, Theresa! You come back home right now! I'm gonna teach you a lesson about putting me down like this!
So, now you're even threatening me. Are you serious? That's it. That was the last straw. I am never, ever going back to that house with you.
But where are you gonna go? Are you gonna go and live with your parents or something?
Why on earth do you think that you deserve to know where I'll be? I never want to see you again, so I'm not telling you anything. Can you please stop blowing up my phone, Juan? This is the 20th call you've given me in the span of a few days. I already told you that I'm going to go back home.
No, it's not about that. This is an emergency. Something really bad has happened.
What is it, Juan? What trouble have you gotten yourself into now? I already told you that I'm not going to be bailing you out of anything, remember?
It isn't that, Theresa. It's my mom. She's passed away.
You're kidding me. Your mom is dead?
It's true. She had some kind of heart attack or something and then just collapsed, and then she just never woke up. I don't even know what else to say right now. I just feel so numb now.
Wow. I see. Well, you have my condolences then.
We're gonna have the funeral tomorrow as well. I know that we're still fighting, but I would really appreciate it if you could be there.
Right, of course I'll go. Your mom was a very kind lady and we got along very well. I'd like to be there to say my final goodbye to her.
Thank you, Theresa. I know that I don't have any right asking you to come, but it really would mean a lot.
Well, I'm not doing it for you, Juan. I'm doing it because I liked your mom and I want to pay my respects.
Right, of course, but also since we're still not divorced, you are still her daughter-in-law, and you'd be coming in that capacity, right?
I suppose so. Of course, your mom has nothing to do at all with what's going on between us. But that reminds me, did your parents, or I suppose just your dad, know Does he know that we're not living together anymore?
No, he doesn't know that yet. I wasn't gonna mention it to him, but then this happened, and I just didn't have the heart to say anything about it.
Right, well, that makes sense, I guess.
Thanks so much. I'll see you tomorrow.
Right, and where's the funeral going to be at?
I'll send you all the details in a little bit, but it's gonna start around noon, so please don't be late.
I'll be there. Don't worry.
Teresa, where are you? What the heck are you doing up until right now, huh? It's already 1! I told you the funeral was gonna be starting at noon!
Sorry, what's got you so upset?
I'm talking about Mom's funeral, don't act dumb. My dad is furious with me right now. Are you trying to humiliate me on one of the worst days of my life? I told you yesterday to be here today for my mom.
Oh, right. Your mom. Yeah, I'm with her right now, actually.
What do you mean you're with my mom right now?
I mean that I'm sitting with her as we speak. She wasn't aware that her funeral was today, by the way. And I'm not sure how your dad can be mad at you if he's here with us too.
She happened to call you in between yesterday and now?
Yeah, that's right. I told her that I thought she was dead and explained what had happened. Then she invited me over to her place to talk things out in person. She told me about how you said you were going to meet with me today. But she thought it was odd that wherever it was we were meeting that you needed to pack some rope and a baseball bat with you. Don't tell me that you were going to use those on me. Were you?
What? No, I mean, I wasn't really gonna hurt you or anything like that. I just wanted to scare you a little.
And just why would you want to go and do something like that?
Because you were gonna leave me, and I couldn't let you do that, okay? I need you in my life, and I just wanted you to stay with me.
So you were going to scare me into not divorcing you? And you were going to trick me into meeting you by using your mom's death as an excuse?
It was just gonna be a little prank, I swear. You gotta believe me.
No, I literally don't have to do that at all. And your parents have been apologizing profusely to me since I got here. Your mom keeps saying how ashamed she is of you. Anyways, I want you to pack your bags and move out, right away. I've already hired a moving company to move my things to a new home. You always took things way too far with other people, and now you were about to do the same with me. Thank goodness your mom called when she did, or I don't know what might have happened to me. After that, I told Juan's dad where he told me to meet him, and he went to go and talk with his son. I'm not exactly sure what happened between the two of them, but the next thing I heard, Juan was in the hospital after having seemingly been beaten up. Since moving away, I feel like I've gotten control of my life back, and things have been much better for me. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.
Hey there, Richard. I just wanted to let you know that the welcome ceremony at the preschool went great. I really do wish that you could have made it, though. There were actually a bunch of other dads there.
Oh, really? But it's a weekend. I would have thought that the men would be at work or something, unless the school is just full of bum parents.
Oh, come on, Richard. Don't be like that. They probably just took the day off to see their kids start school.
Well, that's a bit silly. I mean, it's only preschool. I don't think I could ever waste my time off on something as silly as that. Honestly, the whole thing is just a waste of time anyways, if you ask me. I would much rather be at work getting more important things done.
I see. Well, I guess I didn't realize that that's how you felt about it. But I can't say that I'm surprised. You certainly are dedicated to your work.
Well, of course I am. I'm the man of the house, and our job is to work for our families. But anyways, how was the preschool? Did it seem like a good place? I know that you took a lot of time picking out which school to send Junior to. Did the teachers seem nice and responsible?
Yeah, the whole place seemed okay to me. I didn't really see anything that would be a problem, I don't think.
You don't think? Well, how about you open your eyes and start taking a good look? This is where we're going to be leaving our kid all day. If you think there's going to be something that makes the school a bad fit, then we should go and look for another one.
Well, it's only the first day of preschool, so I think that Junior is going to have to get used to this place first. But in terms of first impressions, I really liked what I saw, and I really don't foresee any problems here.
Well, just make sure that you really try and take it all in and don't miss any details, because I really have no problem pulling Junior out and finding a better school for him.
But I think that Junior is already having a good time here. I mean, you know how kids are, but he's already playing with some other boys. I really think we should just give him some time here to see how he likes it himself.
Well, I'm just saying that we need to be careful thinking about what kind of school we send our kid to. I want to make sure that he's going to get a good education before we dedicate ourselves to one, because it's going to be a whole process to pull him out if we wait a half a year to pass.
I get that, but I don't really think preschool is all about education, you know?
Well, they should be. What's the point of sending a child to school if they aren't going to learn anything? Kids need to start being taught about the world from a very young age, or else they'll grow up not knowing anything.
I'm not saying Junior won't be taught anything, but I think that preschool is as much about making friends, playing, and being creative as it is learning.
And just what in the world do any of those other things have to do with learning at all, huh? It's a school, so they should be being educated.
But classroom learning isn't the only way that a child, especially one so young, can learn. There's a lot of learning that can be done through play and art and things like that. Maybe if you were here, you could see how much Junior is enjoying it.
Well, I'm busy with work, and besides, taking care of those sort of things are your job. So just make sure to not screw up. Got it?
Okay then. I'll ask the teachers a few questions about their curriculum and what they teach. Is there anything in particular that you want me to ask them about?
Actually, yes. Now that you mention it, I want to know if they teach any foreign languages there, and if they have any sports clubs as well. If there are any other moms there, I want you to ask them about what they think of the school, and if they think it's been good for their children, okay?
Yeah, sure. I can do all that. But I feel like even if they had foreign languages classes, that would be enough. I mean, our kid is only just starting preschool. I know you want them to learn a lot, but you've got to give them time to develop some more.
What are you saying? That my kid is slow or something? That he's going to need more time to learn? If this school can't teach my kid from a young age, that's their fault.
Richard, please. I think that you're being just a little unreasonable. I mean, Junior will learn things, that's a given.
Well, you seemed to not be so sure about it just a little while ago. So if anything goes wrong with this place, it'll be on you.
Wait a second. How will any of this be my fault?
Let's think about that. Which one of us went to a great college, and which one of us went to a second-rate college? I'm not going to let my son grow up stupid like you.
Okay, maybe I didn't go to some Ivy League school like you, but that's not fair to call me an idiot.
I'm just saying that kids need to become competitive quick in order to survive in this world. If a kid gets left behind, then they're basically signing their own death warrant. No, ask around and make sure that we're making the right choice with this school. And don't make me tell you to do this again. Hey, Maggie, did you make sure to send that package to my mom's house?
Yeah, I think it just arrived. Or at least I got a message saying that it did.
Well, that's good to hear. Did you have a chance to talk to my mom? How is she doing?
She says that her leg is still really bothering her, but that she is otherwise okay.
That's a relief. I just hope she gets over this fast.
Of course. Although after the package arrived, your mom sent me a bunch of money. Is this okay? I only ask because she gave us quite a bit of money when Junior started at preschool as well.
Yeah, of course you should take the money. My mom hurt her leg. You're helping her. You deserve an award, don't you think?
Well, of course I'm grateful to be able to help your mom. But I just know that she's been going through a lot, what with your relative that passed away. I know that your mom wasn't even able to go to the funeral because of her bad leg.
Ah, that's fine. She didn't need to go that in her condition. Besides, she just could have sent you there in her place, and that would have worked out fine.
Richard, please! You know that your mom really did want to be there. Besides, you can't just take the place of someone at a funeral.
Oh my gosh, it's not even that big a deal. It's fine.
Well, you might not think so, but thanks to all the running around I've been doing today, I am stuck in traffic and might not be able to pick up Junior on time. Do you think that you could go and pick him up for me instead?
Hold a second. You want me to go and pick up our son from his preschool?
Yeah, of course. Like I said, I'm stuck in this traffic, and I know that your office isn't all that far from the school. Even your mom told me to ask you, since she didn't want me driving recklessly to get there.
Did my mom really tell you to ask me to go and pick up Junior for you?
Yeah, of course she did. So can you please do this for me, Richard? It would help a lot.
Well, I guess if that's what my mom asked me to do, then I'll do it. But only today. You got it?
Yes, thank you so much. This is a huge help. In that case, I'll just head back to your mom's and help put things away for the funeral. I know that your mom is probably wanting the company anyways.
Great. Just make sure that you don't embarrass me in front of any other relatives that might still be there at my mom's house.
I know, you've got a reputation to uphold and all that. But, I had no idea that your mom lived in such a huge house.
Well, both of my parents' families come from quite a bit of money, so it shouldn't be all that surprising. I guess you could say that I'm blue-blooded.
I know that you'd told me that before, but I still just didn't know what to expect. And her house is full of so many nice things.
Yeah, I suppose a commoner like you has probably never even been close to being in a place like that before. But don't touch anything in my mom's house. You got it? It's all very expensive, and if you break anything, then it's going to be humiliating for me.
Of course, I won't touch or move anything. You've got nothing to worry about there. Besides, your mom is going to be there. She'll make sure I don't get into trouble.
She better, and you better obey whatever she tells you to do. Remember, you're there to help her, and you should try to get her to like you while you do. After all, I'm my mom's eldest child, and you're my wife, so you have to be on your best behavior at all times.
Man, could you put any less pressure on me for this, Richard?
So what are you going to do? Are you going to spend the night there or come back after a while?
I think your mom already has her guest house set up for other guests there, so I was probably going to get home around 7?
Just make sure that you get home with enough time to make dinner. Got it? Because I'm not going to pick up the kid and cook for you.
Hey there, Richard. I just wanted to let you know that I'm leaving your mom's place. I was going to stop by the grocery store and pick up something on the way home. Do you still need dinner?
Hey, what's the big idea here? Huh? What's going on? Why is Junior like this?
Sorry, what do you mean by that? What's going on with Junior? Is everything okay?
Well, I went to the preschool to pick up Junior, and he was way calmer than the rest of the kids in his class. He was hardly even speaking. What's the matter with our son? Has he not learned how to speak yet? What are they teaching him at this preschool?
Well, I guess he's just a little shy. Kids develop at different rates, you know?
Okay, but my kid should be developing at a faster rate than the other ones. How could you let this happen to our own child?
Richard, I've noticed it as well and have talked to the teachers about it. They said that they see this all the time. But they also say that in the 6 months he's been there, that Junior has grown in many other ways.
What does it matter what way he grown if he can't even speak?
I think we just need to give our child time to do this on his own. We just need to be there and foster a good and comfortable learning environment for him.
Oh, give me a break. What kind of crap have you been reading that says that? You really think I'm going to sit here and let you turn my son stupid?
I really think that you're blowing this all out of proportion, Richard. The teachers tell me this fixes itself with time.
And since when are preschool teachers medical professionals, huh? You might as well ask someone on the street for their opinion.
You really don't think that the teachers here wouldn't know what to look for just through their experience? Do you know how many kids they've had to take care of and how many different issues they faced?
All that experience, and they still couldn't prevent my son from not being able to talk. Some good it did us, huh? Now he's probably going to be like this for the rest of his life.
Richard, I seriously don't think that's what's going to happen with Junior.
My son, look how they massacred my boy. We'll just have to try and make a new child now, I suppose. No point in holding out any hope for Junior.
What are you talking about? How could you say that about our own son?
This is all your fault, you know. Something must have gone wrong with him while he was in your womb.
Okay, now you're really taking this too far. Our son is 3 years old. He is still growing. You need to calm down and let this process unfold over the time that it takes to do so.
No, my son should be speaking by now, but he's not. Now the whole school knows he's a failure with your horrible genes.
And just what is that supposed to mean?
Well, it's obviously your fault. My parents both come from very prestigious bloodlines, which means that the problem must be all your fault.
Our son is literally 3 years old. Why are you jumping to all of these outlandish conclusions? Richard isn't stupid. I don't have bad genes and things are going to be just fine. I can't believe that you honestly suggested giving up on Richard and having another child. They aren't commodities. We don't just make new ones when the ones we have are disappointing us.
Quit wasting time making excuses. You and I need to keep having kids over and over again until we finally make a good one.
Don't you remember the issues that I had just giving birth to Junior? I was losing so much blood, I could have died.
I don't care what it costs. You will keep having babies. I'm not going to let your weak body distort my genes.
I didn't distort anything, and that's so offensive of you to even say that. Besides, it's my life, and you can't order me to have your children. Richard, are you there? I was just curious about this paperwork that arrived from an adoption agency.
That's right. I want you to take Junior and drop him off at the return address. It's high time that we get rid of this defective little brat.
Richard, what on earth are you talking about? You can't be serious about this. This is your son.
Well, what other choice do I have? My son is a little screw-up. You ruined him with your bad genes, and now he's never ever going to speak for the rest of his life. In fact, you can take our dumb son, pack up your bags, and leave too. I'm going to find a woman with better genes to make a child with.
You really are just taking this way too far. Do you know that? How could you even ask me to do something like that? The only mistake I've made around here was ever thinking that you could be a good father. You do nothing to help, and the minute you run into a little trouble, you choose to give up.
Don't you dare and try to spin this to be about me. I didn't do anything wrong at all, and you know it.
Are you sure about that? Because I bet if there was anything genetically wrong with our child, it came from you. But I would never even suggest that about our boy because I love him and think he's perfect the way he is. You're the one who wasn't raised right. You didn't get a proper education, and now you're blaming me for the problems that you have.
What in the world are you even talking about? You don't know anything about anything.
Well, then why are you doing this? Why are you treating your wife and son this way? Because this isn't the way that a father should treat his child, or a husband his spouse. Don't you have any shame about any of this at all? I mean, where in the world did I wrong you raising you like this? Honestly, I have no idea how my own son ended up being so awful.
Your own son? Wait a second. Is that you, Mom?
Of course it's your mother. I'm here with Maggie because she's been telling me all the horrible ways you've been treating her and Junior.
But wait, is that really you, Mom? Please, you have to understand. I wasn't going to let Maggie drag our family down.
And in what possible way would she be dragging our family down?
Well, I just mean that it's her bad genes that made Junior the way that he is. Can't you understand that she's no good for our family?
Richard, you have no room to stand out to be saying anything about your son and wife. You're in the wrong here, and you've made me so ashamed to be your mother. I mean, you're not even human.
Mom, are you really ashamed of me? Please tell me it isn't so. I didn't mean to hurt you.
Honestly, of all your siblings, I've always had the most trouble with you. You've always just been so selfish. Maybe I should have been worried when you were little and never showed any sympathy towards anything.
Well, what does showing sympathy get you in this world? It's a waste of emotional energy that I don't have time for.
Well, a healthy and well-adjusted adult wouldn't think like that about other people. You should be wanting to be there for your wife and be eager to help your child grow.
But what's the point of wasting time with a kid who's already screwed up? What would be the point?
The point is that you married Maggie and you had a child with her, and that's your family. Honestly, why can't you be more like your younger brother? You know that everyone thinks this way about you, right? Everyone just can't believe the way that you've been treating your own wife.
What is that supposed to mean? You already told our relatives about this? That was so fast.
Well, I had to work fast to make sure that you would have nobody on your side that you could convince to be supporting you. The whole family agreed that if this is the way that you're going to act, then you don't deserve to be part of this family.
After all, if anyone is going to denigrate our family name, it's going to be you.
Wait, no, you can't be serious about that. You're not just going to stop talking to me just like that, right? What's going to happen?
You really don't get it, do you? You brag all the time about the amazing schools that you went to, but you don't have anything to show for it.
I know what being cut off means. You're not really going to do it, right? Please. You can't just drop this kind of decision on me like it's nothing.
I'm afraid that I can and just have. If you weren't ready for the shock, you've had all this time to adjust your behavior. But now you should just be a man and accept your punishment. And if you really thought it was okay to be treating your family that way, then this is all the more reason to cut you off.
Maggie, what is this you've left on the table? Why aren't you home right now?
I take it you're back then. I'm not at home because I'm never going back there. I packed up my bags and left with Junior just like you suggested I do. Remember? As for what's on the table, I'm sure you can figure out that they're divorce papers.
But you were just with my mom, right? What was all that about?
Well, I thought I'd tell her about the way you've been treating Junior and I. Then she was the one who suggested the divorce. And before long, she told me that I had the backing of your whole family in this decision.
I still can't believe that my mom was able to tell everyone so quickly. I knew she liked to gossip, but...
Well, it wasn't really that hard. After all, there are still plenty of people in town now that the funeral is done.
So then that's how she was able to talk to so many relatives so quickly. But that's not fair. I'm not even there to defend myself.
You were the one that said you didn't want to waste any time with something like a funeral anyways.
But that's not fair. I'm really busy with work. Why should I have to go?
Because even if you don't like it, these people are still your family, and this is a time when families should come together. I mean, even your little brother is here. But don't worry. Plenty of people have commented on your absence. I guess I didn't realize you were already so unpopular with your family already.
So then you're telling me that my whole family is there. I'm basically the one person who isn't there right now with my mom.
That's right. And I've made sure to tell them all that despite reminding you about this over and over again that you said you'd rather work.
But that's not fair. I mean, it's what I said, but you shouldn't be telling other people that.
Well, it's a bit late to do anything about it now. Especially now that everyone already knows all that they need to.
But how do you know people won't start spreading more rumors about me? What have you done? You've ruined me.
I didn't do anything. You've done this all to yourself, and it's time you accept responsibility. You've always thought you were so perfect thanks to your perfect pedigree. But now not even your family wants you.
So you're going to just leave me like this? Please, Maggie, you can't do this. Please don't leave me. I didn't mean for this to happen.
After that, Richard drove all through the night to arrive at his mom's house the next day. But some of his cousins prevented him from going in the house. They told him that he wasn't welcome there anymore, and that he'd forfeited his position as his mom's eldest child. Even Richard's own mother told me how grateful she was that she had a son younger than Richard. I also heard through the grapevine that Richard's work life started to fall apart after that, and finally he was forced to quit his job. Then came our divorce. We split our assets, and I was able to get full custody of Junior after presenting to the court Richard's attempt to give him up for adoption. Now he has to pay for child support every single month. To do so, Richard had to find a job quickly. Now I hear that he lives in a cramped little apartment doing his best to make ends meet and keep up with his legal obligations. As for Junior and I, after the divorce, I thought about moving, but didn't want to pull Junior out of his preschool. I was glad that I didn't, because a month after we stopped living with his father, Junior spoke his first words. Now it's more difficult to get him to stop talking than it is the other way around. In some ways, I wish Richard could be here to see it.